Imagine waking up not to peace, but to pressure. There's no disaster, no obvious crisis, just a quiet weight in your chest, a subtle unease that lingers beneath the surface. You get up, you go through the motions, you smile when expected. You check your phone, check your tasks, check out of yourself. But deep down, something's off, and you can't quite explain it. It's not that you're doing too much. It's that you're doing without direction. We live in a world that glorifies busyness, that confuses productivity with purpose. But what if anxiety isn't a malfunction? What if it's a message? A sign that you've drifted away from what truly matters. That you've forgotten how to live in alignment with your deeper values. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor who faced war, plague, and betrayal, knew this feeling well. He didn't escape his problems. He faced them with clarity. And in the chaos of ancient Rome, he wrote to himself, not for the world, but to stay sane. His words weren't motivational quotes. They were survival tools. Guiding principles that helped him stay grounded when the world felt like it was falling apart. And now, those same principles, acceptance, mindfulness, discernment, right judgment, adaptability, still hold power. Not just as ancient philosophy, but as a way back to yourself. So if you're feeling lost, maybe you don't need to do more. Maybe you just need to remember who you were before the world told you who to be. To acceptance, stop fighting reality. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. Let's be honest, most of our anxiety doesn't come from what's happening. It comes from wishing something else was happening. We spend so much energy resisting what already is. We replay conversations in our head, try to undo what we said, rewrite the past. We dread outcomes that haven't happened, hoping we can control the future with enough worrying. But here's the truth, reality doesn't care how much you resist it. The more you fight it, the more it fights back. That's why Marcus Aurelius, emperor, general, philosopher, practiced acceptance as a daily discipline. Not passive resignation, but active alignment. Acceptance is not saying, I like this. It's saying, this is what is, now, what will I do with it? It's not weakness, it's wisdom. It's the courage to meet life on its terms, not yours. When you accept what's real, you reclaim your strength. Because instead of wasting energy on resistance, you redirect it toward response. You stop saying, why me? And start asking, now what? Think about it. How many hours, days, or even years have you lost trying to resist something you couldn't change? The breakup, the lost job, the diagnosis, the disappointment. You don't have to like it. But if you don't accept it, it continues to control you. Acceptance is the first step to freedom, not because it fixes the problem, but because it brings you back to power. Power to think clearly, power to act with purpose, power to move forward instead of staying stuck in what should have been. So next time you feel anxious, pause and ask, am I resisting what's already happened? Am I trying to change something that's beyond my control? Am I fighting life or flowing with it? When you stop fighting reality, you don't give up. You show up fully, and that's where calm begins. 3. Mindfulness. Return to the present moment. Forget everything else. Hold on to this. You live only now. Marcus Aurelius. After acceptance, the next step isn't frantic action. It's presence, the ability to fully inhabit the moment you're in. Most of our anxiety doesn't come from what's actually happening. It comes from the fact that our minds aren't here. We live in a world that pulls us everywhere but now. Back into the past, where regrets, mistakes, and what-ifs live. Forward into the future, where fear, uncertainty, and endless what could go wrong take over. But you don't live in the past. You don't live in the future. You only ever live here, in this single moment. From a Stoic perspective, anxiety is often the result of mental time travel. Your mind gets hijacked by memories you can't change, or worries about outcomes you can't control. And the more time you spend there, the further you drift from your own center. Marcus wasn't writing about slowing down as some trendy wellness advice. He was practicing mental discipline, anchoring himself to what was real. To this moment, when he said, "Forget everything else. Hold on to this," he meant, let the present be your focus, your power, your home base. Because here's what happens when you become truly present. Anxiety loses its grip. Fear of the future can't take root. You stop spiraling into what should I do? And come back to this is what I'm doing. Try this the next time you feel overwhelmed. Pause, take a breath, and say, the only thing I need to do right now is the thing I'm doing, not 10 things. Not the whole future. Just this one task. If you're breathing, just breathe. If you're writing, just write. If you're eating, just eat. Because when you give your full attention to the present, it becomes a shelter from anxiety. Mindfulness isn't about escaping the world. It's about returning to the only place you have any real power, right now. And the more often you come back to this moment, this breath, this action, the more you'll realize you're not drowning. You're just not anchored. Mindfulness is that anchor. Marcus knew it. Now it's your turn to practice it. For discernment, control what's yours. Let go of what's not. Nothing belongs to you but your mind and your choices. Marcus Aurelius. If there's one truth that cuts through almost every form of anxiety, it's this. You're carrying too much that was never yours to carry. We spend so much of our lives worrying about things we don't control. What people think of us, whether we'll be accepted, if things will go as planned, how the future will unfold, whether the past could have been different. But Marcus Aurelius makes it simple. Your only true possessions are your thoughts and your actions. That's it. Everything else, other people's opinions, the outcome of events, the behavior of the world, is not up to you. And yet, most of our emotional energy is spent trying to control the uncontrollable. No wonder we feel exhausted. No wonder we feel anxious. But here's the liberating part. You don't need to control everything. You just need to control yourself. You don't need everyone to agree with you. You just need to speak with integrity. You don't need everything to go your way. You just need to respond with wisdom when it doesn't. You don't need to predict the future. You just need to make the best choice in the present. The moment you shift your focus from control to responsibility, you gain power. Not over others, but over yourself. And that's where real peace begins. Try this. When anxiety starts to rise, pause and ask yourself 3 simple questions. Is this within my control? If not, can I release it? If yes, what action can I take right now? This practice isn't about indifference. It's about clarity. It's about reclaiming your energy from things that drain you and redirecting it toward things that empower you. Think about it. Every moment you spend obsessing over someone else's opinion is a moment you've abandoned your own self-respect. Every time you try to predict the outcome, you've left the present moment where your real choices exist. Every time you ruminate on the past, you delay your future. But when you let go of what's not yours to manage and take full ownership of what is, you feel lighter, clearer, and more grounded. Marcus didn't say this to make life sound easy. He lived through war, loss, and betrayal, but he learned this. When everything around you feels chaotic, the one thing you can command is yourself. That's not weakness. That's discipline. That's not avoidance. That's wisdom. And in a world that constantly pulls you in every direction, that kind of discernment is nothing short of a superpower. 5 judgments. Know what truly matters. Don't treat anything as important except doing what your nature demands. Marcus Aurelius. Let's get honest. Most of what we chase in life isn't even ours. We chase money because we were told it means success. We chase validation because we were raised to think approval equals worth. We chase perfection, applause, attention, and yet we still feel anxious, insecure, and hollow. Why? Because when your self-worth is built on things outside your control, like status, appearance, or how others perceive you, you are always at risk. Your peace becomes fragile, your confidence conditional. One bad comment, one failure, one moment of being overlooked, and it all comes crashing down. That's why Marcus Aurelius warns us, don't call anything important unless it aligns with your true nature. So what does that mean? It means you don't need to be liked to be honorable. You don't need to be rich to be generous. You don't need to be famous to live with courage. The Stoics believed virtue is the only true good, and you know what? They were right. Because when you define your success by virtue, integrity, honesty, justice, courage, self-control, you become untouchable. These things don't fluctuate with trends. They don't depend on someone else's opinion. They are yours to live, yours to embody, every single day, no matter the circumstances. So here's a question worth asking. Are you living a life you admire, or just one that looks good online, because you can't fake peace? And no amount of likes, followers, or status symbols will quiet that voice inside that's asking for more meaning. Try this. Each time you feel anxious, ask, am I chasing something that truly matters? Am I doing this because it aligns with my values, or because I want to be seen? What would I do if no one was watching? This is the power of right judgment. It frees you from chasing things that will never satisfy. It grounds you in something that can't be taken away. And here's the secret. When you live by your values, you stop being shaken by the world around you. Because you're no longer being tossed by other people's standards. You're walking your own path. Marcus Aurelius didn't need to be liked. He needed to be true. So do you. 6. Adaptability. Flow with life, not against it. Does the sun complain about the clouds? No, it rises anyway. Marcus Aurelius. Change is not a glitch in the system. It is the system. And yet, most of us treat change like it's a personal attack. We hold tightly to what's familiar, even when it no longer serves us. We build plans like concrete walls and feel betrayed when life flows right through them. But Marcus Aurelius, emperor, soldier, philosopher, knew better. He didn't expect the world to stay the same. He expected it to move, to shift, to break, rebuild, and evolve, and so should you. Adaptability isn't about weakness or passivity. It's about resilience, the kind that bends but doesn't break. The kind that sees change not as chaos, but as an opportunity to grow into something new. The Stoics believed that suffering doesn't come from events themselves. It comes from our resistance to them. And what do we resist most? Change, transitions, loss, the unknown. But here's the truth. You're meant to evolve. You're not supposed to stay who you were 5 years ago. Not even who you were yesterday. So when life changes, the question isn't, how do I stop this? It's, how do I move with this? Because growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone. It happens in the stretch, in the disruption, in the detour you didn't plan for. Try this. Next time something doesn't go your way, ask, what is life trying to teach me here? What if this isn't the end, but a redirection? How can I use this to become better, not bitter? Adaptability gives you flexibility without losing your center. You're rooted, but not rigid. You're grounded, but not stuck. You stop seeing change as a problem and start seeing it as part of your path. The sun doesn't argue with the clouds. It rises anyway. You don't have to like every twist in the road, but you can learn to trust that each turn still belongs to your journey. Because the more you adapt, the more you grow. And the more you grow, the more unstoppable you become. 7. The Stoic Compass. A new way to face anxiety. Anxiety is no longer a mystery. It's a message, but the way we respond to it. That's where the real transformation happens. Most people try to escape it, through distraction, control, or avoidance. But what if the solution isn't to run? What if it's to return to your center? Return to your principles. Return to the Stoic compass. So next time anxiety shows up, don't fight it. Follow it inward and ask yourself, am I resisting reality? Then come back to acceptance. This is happening. Meet it with strength, not denial. Am I stuck in the past or future? Then come back to mindfulness. Life only happens in one place, right here, right now. Am I stressing over what I can't control? Then come back to discernment. Focus only on what's yours, your thoughts, your actions, your attitude. Am I chasing things that don't actually matter? Then come back to right judgment. Real success isn't fame or validation. It's living with virtue and self-respect. Am I rejecting change? Then come back to adaptability. Flow with life. Don't freeze against it. Change isn't the enemy. It's the path forward. This is not about becoming fearless. It's about becoming anchored. Stoic calm is not passive, it's trained. It's forged moment by moment, by choosing your response instead of reacting on impulse. The Stoic compass isn't a one-time fix, it's a lifelong guide. And every time anxiety hits, you get to choose. Run from it, or return to it. With wisdom, you're not weak for feeling anxious. You're just being invited to realign. 8 Final wake-up call. Let the weight become your way. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Marcus Aurelius, you've learned the compass. You've remembered the path. Now comes the real test. Will you walk it? The truth is, fear doesn't block the road. Fear is the road. Anxiety, pressure, hesitation, they're not signs that you're weak. They're signals that you're standing at the edge of something that matters. So stop asking, when will I stop feeling afraid? Start asking, what will I do, even though I am? Because real strength isn't about being fearless, it's about being aligned, rooted in acceptance, present in mindfulness, focused on what you can control, driven by virtue, flexible in change, and steady in chaos. The world doesn't need a perfect you. It needs a grounded you. A you who moves forward, even when your hands shake. A you who shows up, especially when it's hard. The Stoic life isn't about escaping struggle. It's about using it, turning resistance into fire, turning fear into fuel. So if it feels heavy, good. You're probably right where you're supposed to be. Now step in, not because you're unafraid, but because you've finally remembered who you are.